Mastering severity rating techniques. Severity rating techniques seal the deal on process perfection. Where does the application of severity rating techniques in operational excellence achieve its primary objective, which is to enable organizations to prioritize and manage risks, failures, and defects in their processes and systems so that they can optimize their performance, reliability, and efficiency? The application of severity rating techniques in operational excellence achieves its primary objective by providing a systematic and structured approach to identify, assess, and prioritize risks, failures, and defects in an organization's processes and systems. This enables organizations to focus their limited resources on the most critical areas that have the greatest impact on their overall performance, reliability, and efficiency. The severity rating technique involves assigning a numerical score or rating to each identified risk, failure, or defect based on its potential impact or consequence on the organization. This score is typically based on factors such as the likelihood of occurrence, the potential severity of the impact, and the detectability of the issue. The resulting severity rating provides a clear and objective indication of the level of risk or impact associated with each identified issue. By applying severity rating techniques, organizations can prioritize their efforts on the most critical issues that have the greatest potential impact on their operations. This enables them to allocate their resources more effectively, focusing on the highest risk areas first, and addressing the most critical issues before they escalate into more significant problems. One of the primary benefits of severity rating techniques is that they provide a common language and framework for evaluating and communicating risks, failures, and defects across different departments, functions, and levels of the organization. This ensures that everyone is on the same page, with a shared understanding of the risks and priorities, and can work together to address the most critical issues. In addition, severity rating techniques can be used to establish clear thresholds for acceptable risk levels, enabling organizations to set boundaries for what is deemed acceptable and what requires immediate attention. This helps to ensure that risk tolerance levels are aligned with organizational goals and objectives, and that efforts are focused on mitigating the most critical risks. Furthermore, the use of severity rating techniques can facilitate a more proactive approach to risk management, enabling organizations to identify and address potential issues before they occur. By identifying high-severity risks and taking proactive measures to mitigate them, organizations can reduce the likelihood of failures and defects and improve their overall performance and reliability. The application of severity rating techniques can also be used to drive continuous improvement and learning within an organization. By analyzing the root causes of high-severity issues and implementing corrective actions, organizations can identify opportunities to improve their processes and systems and reduce the likelihood of similar issues occurring in the future. In terms of its application in operational excellence, severity rating techniques can be used in a variety of ways, including 1. Failure mode and effects analysis. FMEA severity ratings are used to evaluate the potential impact of failures on processes and systems and to prioritize efforts on the most critical failure modes. 2. Root cause analysis. RCA severity ratings are used to evaluate the impact of different root causes on processes and systems and to prioritize efforts on the most critical root causes. 3. Risk assessment. Severity ratings are used to evaluate the potential impact of risks on processes and systems and to prioritize efforts on the most critical risks. 4. Quality management. Severity ratings are used to evaluate the impact of defects on product quality and to prioritize efforts on the most critical defects. In conclusion, the application of severity rating techniques in operational excellence provides a systematic and structured approach to identifying, assessing, and prioritizing risks, failures, and defects in an organization's processes and systems. By providing a clear and objective indication of the level of risk or impact associated with each identified issue, Severity rating techniques enable organizations to focus their efforts on the most critical areas, optimize their performance, reliability, and efficiency, and drive continuous improvement and learning. As I sat with the quality control team at a major automotive manufacturer, I couldn't help but think about the countless hours we'd spent poring over failure mode and effects analysis, FMEA, reports, trying to make sense of the sea of numbers and ratings. They were struggling to get a handle on their risk management, and I knew that the key to their success lay in implementing a robust severity rating technique. The team was led by a bright and eager quality engineer named Layla, who had been tasked with implementing a new operational excellence program across the organization. She'd heard about the benefits of severity rating techniques, but wasn't quite sure how to put them into practice. As we sat down to discuss the project, I could sense her frustration and skepticism. "Dr. Deming, we've been trying to get our arms around this risk management thing for months," she said, "but it seems like every time we make progress, we get bogged down in arguments over what constitutes a high or low risk. The ratings just seem so subjective." I nodded sympathetically, recalling my own experiences with similar challenges in the past. "Layla, the problem isn't the ratings themselves, it's the way we're thinking about risk. We need to focus on the impact on the customer, not just the probability of failure." I walked her through an example from my work with a major aerospace manufacturer. Let's say you're rating the severity of a possible failure in the braking system of a commercial airliner. You might assign a high severity rating if the failure could result in loss of life, but a lower rating if it only results in a delay. The key is to tie the rating to the customer's needs and expectations. Layla's eyes lit up as she began to see the connection. "That makes sense, but how do we get everyone on the same page? We've got teams all over the world, and they're all using different rating scales and criteria." "Ah, that's where the magic happens," I said with a smile. "You see, Layla, the key to successful operational excellence is not about imposing a top-down solution, but about facilitating a collaborative process that brings everyone together around a shared understanding of risk. You need to get your teams working together to define the rating scales and criteria so that everyone's speaking the same language." Together, we worked with Layla's team to develop a customized severity rating technique that took into account the unique needs and priorities of their customers. It wasn't easy, of course. There were plenty of heated debates and disagreements along the way. But by focusing on the customer and empowering the teams to take ownership of the process, we were able to create a system that was fair, transparent, and effective. As the weeks turned into months, I could see the tangible impact of our work. The quality control team was able to prioritize their efforts more effectively, focusing on the highest risk areas and driving real improvements in performance and reliability. The organization as a whole began to shift towards a more proactive, customer-centric mindset, and the benefits started to ripple out across the entire supply chain. As I left the plant for the final time, Layla came up to me with a grateful smile. "Dr. Deming, I don't think we could have done it without you. We've got a long way to go, but for the first time in years, I feel like we're finally moving in the right direction." I beamed with pride, knowing that the real work was only just beginning. But I was confident that Layla and her team had the skills, the knowledge, and the determination to take their operational excellence to the next level, and to keep pushing the boundaries of what was possible.